it's Technology Screens. Today we're going to be showing you a demonstration on how to upgrade your motorized projection screens. I get these emails quite a lot. So in emails I get, if I have a motorized projection screen, can I paint it with your product? Will it crack? Will it peel? No, it's not going to crack. It's not going to peel. As a matter of fact, a few last demonstrations I've been doing were on motorized projection screens, this one right here, and I've been rolling it up and down, up and down, up and down a lot in the demonstrations, and no cracking or peeling at all. The formula is designed to marry to the surface, so you don't have to worry about any of that whatsoever. It's not going to jam your motor or any of that nonsense whatsoever. I've had screens in here that are motorized for a couple of months, and I have some just been rolled up for the sake of just being rolled up, which I never had any problem with the sticking or any of that nonsense. So I know exactly how many coats it takes to jam a motor. And actually, from trying to figure out how to jam a motor, I bought a cheap $68 screen, which this one here was $68 on eBay, and doing some tests to figure out how many applications it would take to jam a motor. It takes about 30 to jam a motor. On our end, it takes 30. I don't know about anybody else, but on our end, it took about 30 applications to jam the motor. All right, so in this demonstration, really to tell you the basement is pretty dark. The window light we have back there behind me, it's really not going to affect the screen too much at all. But this is to show you, even with lights on or off, how this technology is going to be able to advance over a white screen. And as I said before, as in the other products we're testing as certified screens, as I said before, those screens have been tested and they're certified. As for some of the mixes we were using, they are definitely not certified and they are definitely not tested. One of the ones which was more disturbing, which was a UV mix, that particular product showed extremely heavy dark levels when it came to white levels, comparing that our technology we have over here is black. So just want to show you something real quick before we get started on here. Where's my frog tape? There we go. I'll show you my frog tape on me because I always lose frog tape. No matter where I'm at in the house, I always lose frog tape. So we have the UV mix here. We're going to put this right against my screen so you can see the difference on how bright the light this is over my black screen over here. And my black screen can pull a higher white level than the UV mix, which shows that the product was never ever tested, because if it was tested on white levels, that was the first thing that would have popped up. It should have been fixed, but it wasn't fixed. So this right here we have my screen. Just to show you the difference, that's the UV mix. So that's how light the UV mix is compared to my, oopsie, I forgot that screen doesn't stick well. Nothing sticks against the screen well because of the coating on it. We'll put it up here. Right there, so you can see a little difference on that one. There we go. Keep forgetting that screen has a weird coating on it. But anyway, there you go. It's much lighter than my screen. So it should be able to produce a much higher white level, but it doesn't. It doesn't produce a higher white level. It produces a very, very, very dark image. And that, from my end, basically, like I said, being in screen paint, it clearly shows that it's just black and white paint. That's pretty much what it is. Because in black and white paint, neither one of those particular formulas or product, what do you want to call them, do not have the ability to pull white light at all, period. I would say the gray would, but not black. But how dark this is, no, it can't pull it at all. That's why I was kind of shocked when the screen went up and I was like, ooh, shoot, this is not good. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But anyway, that's why I said you got to be careful. If you're doing a motorized projection screen, as I said before, I had a customer ask me yesterday, could I jam the screen? You could jam the screen at 30 coats. I had to test it. I've done it already. I've actually had a screen with 30 coats application to it. I was able to jam a motor. So it takes about 30 to do it. This screen has 3 applications on it already from the door. I changed it over again. I changed it over again. It was changed over again. It has 3 applications on it. So it takes quite a lot to jam a motor. As to how to paint the screen, well, this is what you want. This is your magic right here, your frog tape. I only use frog tape when I'm doing a screen. You see the borders? So my screen's customized, so you can see my borders are actually white and the screen's actually black. What you want to do is you basically, when you're painting your screen, you want to make sure you're probably about 1 inch away from the actual screen itself. Give yourself a little forgiveness room, and you just want to basically tape from this side and that side. But when you get to the top, you want to double it. So you want to put one across, put a second one over top of that, just in case as you're rolling it, you don't basically bounce over one roll of strip of tape and hit the screen. You don't want to hit that board at the top. If you want to put three, put three. If you want to put four, if you want to basically put it individual over and over and over again, whatever you feel is going to make you feel comfortable. But sometimes when you're painting, sometimes you will not, you will hit that particular border. So make sure you put, I put two. We can put three up there if you want. The sides you're really not going to need because, like I said, on the sides, pretty much the only thing you're going to hit is basically the tape, or you're going to hit basically the plastic. At the bottom, you're going to put one strip at the bottom, but the bar at the bottom, you want to completely cover that in tape. If you're spraying the screen, you want to make sure you wrap the casing in plastic, and you want to run across a piece of tape across the edge of the tape so nothing can get up underneath of it and get into the motor itself. So that's pretty much based about it. It's pretty easy to do. Very easy to do. That's it. If you're going to have it, some people you can paint it the screen standing up, which against the wall, no problem. I've done that too. Or if you have one, you can take it off the wall. It's easy for you to actually take it off the wall, put it on the floor, plug it in, and then basically just pick up the case, and you can basically unroll the screen with no problem. So it's pretty easy to do to paint the screen with our technology. But like I said, you want to make sure you get it right the first time because you really don't want to go back and do it the second time. Some people are even nervous painting it the first time. So you're nervous. I painted dozens of screens, so it's pretty much easy for me. When your first time painting the screen, people are going to be a little bit nervous. So we're going to make sure you get this right the first time. Now, as I said, you really don't want to apply any kind of paint on this unless it's been tested. And for what I've seen so far, products are just not tested so well. All right, so let's bring my screen up because I want to show up the screen underneath of it. The screen underneath of it we got from Amazon. It's a fabric screen. It's actually the same screen I have out there in the backyard, which is 150 inches. This is a fabric screen that has a 2.0 gain on it. It's a bone white screen. And let's bring my screen up. Where's my remote controls at? There we go. And this answers the question. All this week, or actually last couple of days, not this week, but all the last couple of days, I've been doing demonstrations on the motorized. So you watch me bring the screen up and bring it down, bring it up and bring it down. So there shouldn't be any more questions about whether or not it's going to roll up and down. It's going to roll up and down all day. There's our white screen. Turn our projector in the back here. I'm going to run this through the PS4. Now, next couple of days, we're just going to be using our own products. I'm using my mix, which I'm making a darker version of it, and none of that stuff has been tested. There's no point in testing at all. It's just no point. So we're going to be using my mix. The reason why we're not using the other mix is because it's an untested product. There is no way in the world. I mean, like I said, I basically specialize in dark technology. So for a screen to be that dark, to have a white level that poor, clearly shows it was never ever tested, and that's really, really bad. And then you're selling the product without any test results behind it. It's not good. That's not good at all. Should never come with that dark, especially when my screen's black and my screen can pull a higher white level. That shows clearly the product was never tested. All right, that's my PS4. Let's see, white screen. Okie dokie. I'm sorry, I can't do white screens. I can't do it. It drives me freaking crazy. Colors are all washed out. I can't do that crap. We're going to be going back and forth in the demonstration. We already know that the white screen is not going to have a chance in a fully lit environment. That's why we're going to do lights out. It's not going to be much lights out because I have some light coming in, but do we have speakers hooked up? Let's see what speakers running today. I'm kind of see what we got going here. Okay, let's see. We'll go over to the red screen. What colors first? So there's red on black technology, and here's red on white, or white screen. Either way, it's all going to be the same. Some people say, well, it's a white projection screen. No, it's literally going to all be the same thing. There's no such thing as a white screen that's going to be able to produce better than another white screen. It's all going to be the same thing. It's all going to react the same way. There's going to be no difference in it. If it's a 2.0 or a 1.0 or a 0.1, it's all going to react the same way. It's going to wash out. It's going to fade. We're at 5,000 lumens. That's why we chose the big boy projector behind us. Just to show you at 5,000 lumens, because people think that, okay, if I get a bigger projector, more lumens, maybe I can be, you're not changing nothing at all. It's going to be the same way. So this is what your image is going to come up on the white screen. It's a shame because the majority of the screens that they sell on the market are white screens. Here's your blue levels. And white screens are not ambient light rejection. The technology wouldn't even work with it at all, period. So that's how blue is supposed to be. It's display blue. That's why I said it doesn't work. White screens don't work on any level whatsoever. And you see a lot of them in churches and auditoriums and stuff like that, and businesses and stuff like that. Even in a few restaurants, I see white screens. And then it gets this really high-end, high-powered projector. You think the projector is going to pretty much make up for what the screen is losing? I'm here to tell you that it's not going to do at all anything for your screen. The higher the lumens you go up in your projector, the more white light that screen is going to be reflecting off of it. The higher the contrast and color is going to start fading off the screen because your lumen count is like way too high. And if you go with the low-end lumen projector, which most of them don't do, most companies will go with the 7,000 or they'll go with the high-end 4K projector thinking that the projector is going to be able to put back something into the screen, and it's not. I mean, I've gone to Target. Target had this 4K Optima projector on display in their makeup department. And the first thing I looked up, I saw the screen. I'm like, ooh, they got a projection screen at Target. And I go look up and look at the projector, and I go, oh, it's an Optima 4K. So it's a big boy. It's about the biggest one I have back here. So it's a big venue projector. Then I go look at the screen, I go, ugh, this is horrible. Yeah, it was really bad. It was really, really bad. Even with all the commercial lighting that they have in that environment, it was really bad. But to them, because if they can see an image, it's considered to be acceptable because they can see the image. It doesn't have to be good. They just have to see it. That's where it gets sad. So they probably spent about, I don't know, probably about 5, 6, maybe 7 grand for their projector just to get probably 30% of it. That's what they pretty much spent for. Look at the difference in that. Let's go come out of here. Let's go, the white levels always on the white screen are always going to be higher. You know, always, always, always. Always are going to be higher on the white screen. I'm not afraid to do these. These are demonstrations you have to display. It's something you can't hide from. You have to do these demonstrations. I have to do these for companies all the time. Anytime I'm displaying black technology for a company, I have to display white levels. Now, they already know in their minds that white levels with any screen, it's going to be a tad lower. But to say that the white levels are going to be so low that you can't make out an image, nah. See? I got no problem showing you that. I gotta do this all the time. This is what bothers me. This is what bothers me. That the product was never tested. You can't sell a product on the market if you haven't tested it. You have to test the product. You have to. Now, the technology we have has the ability to show multiple shades of white levels, which I'll show you. Let's go with let's go with real quick. Let's do let's get out of this. Do this. Let's go into. Oh, I think I should just went straight to that video instead. There we go. That's what we wanted. I usually don't watch my demonstration, but this one I had to watch 4 or 5 times, which I still couldn't believe I was actually seeing what I was seeing. Now, in this demonstration, here we'll go back to the higher white levels on this one. There. Clearly shows the product was never ever tested. You see that? Comes from not testing your products. That's what it comes from. Clearly, when it comes to the white screen, the problem with the white screen is the fact the white screen reflects way too much white light. It's white. It's going to reflect a ton of white light. You hit it with a 5,000 lumen projector, you're reflecting even more light. You're actually boosting. You're actually reflecting 10 times more light, which means the higher you go on your lumens, the faster and faster you're washing out your screen. Where a black screen, if you hit that with a 5,000 projector, not only will absorb the excess light that's going to be actually pushing off on your ceilings and walls and everything else, but it's going to give you a natural image coming right back at you. Now, do you see at the bottom, you can see the white screen. All the detail comes into play when it's actually hit with the black screen. Watch, it goes up. Watch as it goes back down. That's a black technology that not only has the ability to pull its contrast level, but can maintain its white level when next to a white screen. That's why the first time I actually displayed the Phoenix, I sat there and said that screen has an extremely high white level. We can match, go back and forth with a white screen versus a black screen. And you'll watch the white screen disappear in a fully lit environment, even at 5,000 lumens. And then you see the other product right here can't even produce a proper white level. And this is with the lights on. Lights on, mind you. That's why I explained that if you're going to be talking about using your products on venue projectors, then venue projectors are rarely going to be used in dark environments. They're going to be used for commercial property, going to be used for churches and different forms of displays. They're going to be used in well lit environments, which means your product's going to have to be able to produce that image in that well lit environment without washing out or fading. Or in this case, I don't know what this is, man. It just clearly shows that the product was never tested. The first thing that would have came up if you did this on a white level test, that the image would have came up dark, would have showed you that you clearly need to change it so the white levels can produce higher. But there was nothing done there at all. Another reason why you don't want to go to untested mix or product that has been tested correctly. I have a little light coming in from my windows. That's basically about it, but I'm not really going to change anything too much. Like I said, this is a 92-inch screen. So if you're a company, say you got a 200-inch tension screen. That's a big screen to be coating twice. This is how you improve and advance your technology, by using our technology, not anybody else's. Because between our technology, all the other screen paints I've seen so far can't produce contrast, and they sure enough can't produce color too well. If you can't produce contrast, you can't produce color. That's the bottom line. That's what's going to happen. They can produce a white level, but our technology can also too produce a white level, even higher than some of these darker products out here that claim that they're doing their tests, but they're not really doing tests. They're just cutting corners, and that's all they're doing. They can't back up the product. I can sit here and I can show you a dark screen paint product. I can show you white levels. I can show you a white screen behind the back of my screen, and I can show you my black screen coming down with no problem, overshadowing the white screen and producing a higher white level than the dark screen paint product. We're not even going to mention it. We know it's a UV. We're not even going to mention the credit of the person who made it, due to the fact that they did a very poor job on designing that product. A very poor job. Look at that. This is only a 92-inch screen. I think it's a 92. It's a 92-inch screen. And companies are going to have screens of 150, maybe a 200-inch screen on display. Can you imagine painting that twice? Like I said, some people are nervous about painting the screen the first time. You imagine you have to go around and do it the second time because you made a mistake? So we answered the question in this demonstration. Can you roll the screen up and down? Yeah, we're doing it right now, over and over and over again. What's the difference between our product and a white screen? Well, we're producing a much better color and contrast than the white screen on top of it. If you look at the white screen, it's pushing white levels all over the place, where our screen is actually maintaining it. What's the difference between our product and an untested mix? Well, the untested mix can't produce a white level. And as you can see in the demonstration, our screen is actually producing multiple shades of white levels. Look at the hair, look at the skin tone, look at the pinkness in her lips, look at the shirt that she's wearing. All that requires white level. Even the two Lamborghinis in the back, the blue sky, all that requires a white level. Now, when we lift up our screen, you'll notice that the white screen that's peeking underneath the bottom, watch how it fades and washes out. So the Lamborghinis now are starting to wash out. Her shirt's washing out, her skin tone, all that's washing out. Bring it back again. And then for the untested mix, as you can see, it's pulling a very dirty image. That's why I showed you in the first beginning of the video, where you can see that his product is actually lighter than mine. And yet my screen can pull a higher white level. You know why? Because my product has been tested, retested, tested again. It's been engineered right. That's why we do our demonstrations live. That's why when I show you the screen, I show you 18 certifieds. And 18 certifieds, majority of the screens in 18 certifieds are actually light screens. So not only the technology has to go against screens that are certified, we're talking about certified grade A screens, it's going to have to go against gunmetals. It's going to have to go against mid grades and light grades and even white screens, We've done a demonstration. We did white paper on the screen. We did white screens on the screen. We did a 0.9 white elite screen, which is one of the highest ones we have here. We did demonstrations where we took black on black, where we took the screen at 1,000 lumens, dropped it down to 1,000 lumens, took black sheets, black vinyl, black paper, and threw it against the screen and showed a snow level and showed the screen produced a higher white level than the other screens being displayed. Those are the kind of tests you have to put your product through. If you don't, what's going to happen is you're going to end up being like the screen in the middle. It's an untested product. And I can tell just by looking at it, that the fact that our screen, again, is black, is darker than the screen, because if I put it on a star field, our screen can produce a black level star field, where that screen is going to produce a gray, which means that screen should be producing a higher white level. It can't produce a higher white level because the products that are actually in it to make it do not have that capability, because they are black and white paint. That's how I know. If that was the case, you wouldn't have to go out. If those products that were put into that product and make that product, if they did the exact same thing our product did, then you wouldn't have to go out and spend money for an expensive projection screen. Heck, you wouldn't have to buy our products. You could just go out to Home Depot and just mix some black and white paint together, get the same results. Guarantee you won't. I guarantee you won't. But if you want to sit there and you want to mesh up your motorized projection screen and your fixed screen going down that road, then hey, more power to you. That's why we requested, the first time I saw the white levels come up that low, we requested at test demonstrations be done on the UV mix with a white background displaying white levels only, not as a standalone with another screen sitting behind the back of it to see where the white levels lay at. The tests were never done. The reason why the tests were never done, because they can't be done. And meanwhile, for those of you who have white screens, this is a big wake-up call for you. You can jump your projector up to 4,000, you can jump it to 5,000, you can go 4K. It's not going to make a difference. You are not going to be able to pick the image up. Let's go change over to something else so that way it doesn't look like we're just settling on one area alone. I'll put you up a little closer to the screen, if that's where you need to be at, so you can get it better. It's interesting that while we're doing this, mind you, this was a screen that, keep in mind, was campaigned. Our black technology is campaigned to be so dark you can't even see it. Well, if it's so dark you can't even see it, how come we're actually overshadowing a 2.0 white screen? This gives you something to think about. Hold on for a minute. I'm thinking, like, what the heck is going on with my sound? On the back of me. We charged this thing up last night. Let me see, power off. Let me make power for it. I need to leave this thing on a charge. This is my speaker. Like, where's my sound? I'm doing no sound. What the heck is my sound? Let me get a power cord. Because my speakers in the back, they run on themselves, but I think the battery I can get them. Let me look something for that. Shut that door. Let me just go here. All right, that's right. Hold on. Let's see.
Line in.
Okay. Sure, sounds good. Yeah, we got better. Let me go back and play that because my self is in front of the projector. That's better. That's way too dark. Where the motor's at, it's way too dark. That's the problem. You really can't see the engine all that well because it's too dark. It's pulling too high of a contrast level. So watch when my screen goes up. Because people will look at this and go, oh, so I can see the contrast. No, the contrast level is too dark. So look at the motor right there. I'll put you up a little closer to the screen so you can see this right here. See the motor right there? It's not supposed to be that dark. And mind you, our screens are black. They're gonna pull a contrast level on any level whatsoever. They're black screens. But that motor is not supposed to be that dark. This is all the stuff I see in demonstrations. Now watch how it comes up on the mix. See how dark it is? It's not supposed to be that dark. It's a motor. It's supposed to have some shine to it. Not supposed to like it's pitch black dark. That's the motor that's painted to be black, but it's a chrome bike. This is what happens when you can only produce a contrast level only. Your white levels are too low. A screen's supposed to be to produce both contrast and white levels at the same time. Man. And then look at the white screen right here. The chrome is supposed to have some shine to it. See that? There you go. That's how it's supposed to look. Chrome is supposed to have some shine to it. White screen's not giving it no shine. There we go. So we're going to swing back up again. That's why I said our demonstrations are unmatched. There is no one matching our demonstrations on any level whatsoever because our products can't perform on this level at all, period. You only got three options. Only three options you have is that you're going to go out and you're going to spend a couple $1,000s for one of these projection screens. It's going to cost you, if you thought the fixed frame screen is going to cost you $5,000, this is a motorized projection screen. Anytime you pay for a motorized screen, it's always going to cost you more than a fixed frame screen. So Dark Star 9 in a motorized, Black Diamond in a motorized, it's going to cost you a lot of money. Or you can go with one of these untested mixes right here, destroy your screen. You have to paint it all over again. Eventually you will. Because you're going to notice that it's not going to be picking up your contrast and color, all that correctly. And at the end of the day, if those demonstrations are being done in a very poorly lit environment with a high-end projector, then that's where you're going to be at. Because keep in mind, as I said at the end of the day, if a company's using a projector that's going to cost you a good maybe $4 or $5 grand, there's no way in the world you're going to be able to produce the exact same image that projector is pulling off. You're going to have either the same projector or equal. So when Black Diamond did the demonstration with the $50,000 coffee table Sony ultra short throw laser projector, if you had bought that screen, there was no way in the world, which you haven't, even if you had the P2, the P2 would never be to compete with that 50,000 lumen projector. No way in the world you're going to compete with that kind of technology. You would, in order to get the exact same image, you're going to have to either have the same projector or better. Because in some of those demonstrations I've noticed, the projectors are usually the ones that are actually carrying most of the weight. If you go with one of these unmixed products, and majority of those demonstrations, which I've seen, are all done in dark environments. They can't produce contrast levels in fully lit environments. They have to have color, very well lit environments to produce their bright level colors, which are actually at the end of the day still faded and still washed out, which I displayed on here. At the end of the day, that's what you're going to end up with. You're going to have to end up, at the end of the day, probably either repainting your screen, and you're only going to get probably about 30 or probably 40% out of your investment of what you paid for your projector. Where my technology, well, I can be in fully lit environments. My projectors don't cost me an arm and a leg. As a matter of fact, projector behind me only costs $270. You can get them on eBay, if you can find one like that, for $270. That's how they run for. Because it's an outdated projector. It's a 2014 model. It's the only way you're going to pay $4 or $5 grand for a 2014 model. All my projectors are old, so you can find them on eBay for pretty much next to nothing. As in calibrating, you don't have to do that either. I've never calibrated a projector damn my life. Being stuck in a dark environment, you ain't got to worry about that either. Ultra short throw compatible, screen's ultra short throw compatible. Take it outside, yep, you can take it outside, and they have the credibility and backing of beating 18 certified projection screens, 4 certified projection screens for ultra short throw. And we can do this. Let's see, we're going to do a contrast level. Let's pull up the OLED horse. We're going to show up our screen's technology to be able to pull off the OLED horse. Now on the white screen, even that's really bad. That's really bad. That is way too dark. That is too dark. Even that's too dark. Yeah, even that's too dark. And definitely I picked up on a white screen. I'm going to do the white demonstration on the white screen probably tonight, because I want it to be really dark in here. But even with a little bit of light we have in here right now, you're still not going to get an improvement over a white screen. Look at the background. None of it comes up. I told you, white screen picks up nothing. Nothing at all. Period. That's not what's dead when I say. Remember, my screen has that. There you go. If it stays that long, there you go. Your product picks up gray next to my black screen. See? So my screen can produce a higher contrast level than your screen. Remember I told you the backgrounds of OLEDs are always jet black. Anytime you look at an OLED demonstration, the backgrounds are always done in jet black. If your screen can produce a black contrast level equal to a black screen, you would be able to pick up the background with no problem. And you can't pick up the background with no problem. And then when you put it on a white level, your screen can't pull a white level, which that's really bad. When it comes to the lighter mixes, well, they're not going to compete with this at all, period. So if you buy a white projection screen, you're automatically going to have to upgrade. You're not going to pick up any contrast whatsoever. So, okay, so let's take his products out of the equation because, like I said before, we already know that the black, the UV mix he has right here can't pull white level. We've pretty much clarified that enough. As for the lighter mixes, they can't pull anything next to a black screen. They're not going to pull color, and they're definitely not going to pull contrast. So we already know that from the door. White screens, the majority of y'all are going to be buying these projection screens. You're going to get them in white. Because if you go with Elite screens and you go with any one of their screens, as in their Cinema Gray or Cinema Gray 5D or 3D, you're paying out a couple grand easily. You're nowhere in the world. This screen right here cost me around $68. So majority of most screens of people that I bump into have motorized projection screens have white screens. Now the screen we have here has a 2.0. The motorized projection screen I have, well, when it was basically white, had a 1.0. And it's a 5,000 lumen projector behind me. So some people think of churches and auditoriums and stuff like that. They think that they have schools. They think if they have a really high power projector, it's going to pick up the image. Not even close. That's why I sat there and said that the new inflatable black screens we're developing, well, we have them already. I can't say developed, we got one already. That screen's going to dominate any white screen on the market. Majority of most screens outside are white. Very few of them are silver, but they're not going to be able to compete with that black technology. Let's grab something that's not going to have any contrast in it. Let's grab, let's see over here. Well, I don't even know why people ask me questions like that to begin with. That's my driver. She's on her way down. Asked me, do I have cold water? I constantly have cold water in my refrigerator. Constantly have cold water. I asked that crazy question before. I got cold water. I got you. We need to get back over more now. Come on, man. Really? There we go. How does this react to our technology? Isn't that impressive? I sat there and told you that the Phoenix have extremely, extremely high white levels. Not only can our screen cancel out all the excess light bouncing all over the room, but can still maintain its white levels with no problem. Isn't that gorgeous? This is what gets us contracts, because we can throw a white screen behind the back of it and pull that screen down, and that screen will, they'll do these in dark rooms, really dark rooms. And then you'll watch the white screen hit with 5,000 lumens, and you'll watch the light shoot all the way across the environment. And then when that black screen comes down, that light will cancel out just like that, leaving our room pitch black dark, but you'll still see the image push up. This is the display rooms that they're developing for our screens. Get my screen a little better there. These are display rooms they're developing. When clients come in and see these demonstrations, the same demonstrations you're seeing here, except it's on a more advanced, higher model, they come in and see that demonstration and be like, oh, there we go. That's another order for another 500,000. A lot. I mean, they order a lot of paint. Mind you, this isn't going to one establishment. This is going to a company who has 8 branches and a chain line of stores. This is what this is going into. So it isn't for one individual. These are for companies that are coming into these showrooms. Because they would expect the screen being black when they look at it, when they come in, wouldn't have the ability to be able to produce such a beautiful image, right? You know, that's what you would think, you know, being a black screen. I get it all the time. Anytime I set up a black screen outside, my neighbor, when he first saw it and he was staring at it, he was like, how's that even going to work? Your screen's black. Like, you're used to seeing white screens. And And when they see the thing fire off, that's the end of it. They can't wait to sign the contract that fast. That's why I told you the Phoenix, when we developed it, was engineered differently. It had the ability to pull extremely high white levels. With the same technology, we embedded it into the Phantom. The Phantom's white levels are higher than the Phoenix. Now, with the enhancement coating technology we developed, we can take a screen that's super jet black, make it as dark as we want, without the fear of the white levels dropping, because the coating that's being applied to it is designed to make the screen advance its white levels. That's why these screens look like this. So we're going to be working on a package deal, like for the customer. One is going to be a package deal with some with projectors, some won't come with projectors, some will come with sound bars. These are packages we're going to be working on for marketing for both parties. So we're going to have a section for the customer, the everyday customer. We're going to keep the prices low so they can afford it. If you don't have a projector, we can pick out a projector for you. We're just going to set something up really nice. So that's what I want. So yeah, it's going to work out the way I want it to work out. Everything's going to work out. I don't want it where our screen's going to be costing like thousands and thousands of dollars and nobody can get their hands on it, but they only elect. I want it so everybody can get their hands on it. That's the whole purpose of the technology. So everybody can afford it. And to tell you the truth, at the end of the day, after seeing, like I said, some of the business ties are going to be attached to these contracts and where this contract is going to go in the future, really at this particular point, don't even really care about doing any demonstrations against Screen Innovation or anybody else. Really don't care anymore. At the end of the day, I got to consider the fact that I already did what I accomplished to do. That's it. There's nothing more to pretty much test against or go against. I'm just going to display my technology on these tests like we do here. That's basically about it. I mean, our product's already proven. We got technology that's more advanced than the high-end screens on the market. We can basically market at a more affordable price that everybody can afford. We can use outdated projectors, which is actually more important than anything else in the world, that you can use an outdated projector, because that doesn't cost the customer a lot of money. It doesn't cost the company a lot of money. I mean, at the end of the day, first people ask me, like, well, how much is a projector going to cost me? I said, well, I always ask them, like, what's your price range? If they got to get a new projector, I always ask them, what's your price range? And they'll say something like $1,500. Oh, no, that's way too much money. We're going to do this at $500. Or if we can get it at $400, it'll be at $400. And at the end of the day, I got a merchant on eBay, send them a projector over to them. It's going to work out fantastic with the screen paint. That's the whole purpose. Now, somebody telling that, oh, you have to have something like 4K or a little higher than that. I don't know what would be a little higher than 4K, to tell you honest, it's the truth. But you go talk to any other company, you tell them that, hey, look, I got a Christie LW 505, and they be like, can't use that. That's not going to work. Well, what you want to get is so and so and so. I guarantee at the end of the day, whatever projector they suggest, you're going to cost you about $3 or $4 grand. I guarantee you. Yeah, but my white screen looks fantastic. You know, it doesn't. I'm missing so much color. Mind, we just have the lights out. This technology you're watching right here is engineered to be used in fully lit environments. Right now, upstairs, I got 126 of this technology sitting in my window, displayed in window light. I'm watching TV upstairs. My environment doesn't have to be like this. I don't like doing demonstrations in dark environments. We all know that, but we have to do it for this demonstration altogether. I do like so watching the light disperse around this thing. I feel like seeing that. That's good. I like the lighting down here because the lighting down here is really, really bright. It's really bright down here. See? The technology makes no difference. You can have your lights on or off, doesn't make a difference. That's what advanced ambient light rejection technology is for. Let that play. I want to go back when she's on the grass. There we go. That's what I wanted. Got a color phase. Everything washes out. For them, it doesn't have to be good. It has to be seeable. For me, it has to be good. There's no way in the world I would put this stuff in my house. No white screens, I wouldn't do it. Skip into the daylight with my white dress on. See right there? That shows you right there that if you were using the projector behind me at 5,000 lumens, you're probably getting about 30 or 20% of your projector. So the money you went out to invest in to get the best projector you can, you're only getting probably 30%. I'll give you 40%. That's all you're getting. All the research and getting the best contrast levels, 4K capability, lumens and all that, just to basically chop your projector clean in half. Pretty much when you go buy it, just have them just cut it in half. You give them all the money, they'll cut it in half. You just take whatever half you get. Whatever works on the screen, that's what works on the screen. That's pretty much what you're doing to your setups. Well, my projector behind me cost me $270. I'm getting every bit of it. That's what you're supposed to be getting. All right, well, we're done here. I think we're just going to come back in. Well, I got to be out tonight for the inflatable screen. I can't wait for that, man. That inflatable screen is so much fun. I'm gaming on that tonight. We're going to be doing that demonstration right there. And then I'll come back and do a demonstration strictly on the white screen. Because like I said, we did some on the white screen. We did some on the mixes. We're not going to do too much on the mixes anymore because it is what it is. I mean, it doesn't work. It's a product that doesn't work. I'm really shocked at the UV because I knew the UV was dark, but basically when we did the demonstrations on the UV, we did it basically on the screen separately by itself on an Elite white screen, which I do have one here somewhere, and we did one on ours, which we did the Elite 0.9 white sample screen against ours, and we could see where the screen basically was not pulling up a proper white level, but just to have it here and then have the motorized projection screen come down on top of it, and you can see that black spot in the screen where the motorized screen comes over top of it, makes it disappear. It just even more just shows that he really did not test that properly before actually, I don't know, doing the advertising on it, and then going back and posting it on the website. Oh, wow. I mean, man, boy, you should have really did some tests on that first, because that came up really dirty. That came up really dirty. And we were lights out, mind you. We were lights out. We didn't have lights on. We were lights out. How often do you see me do demonstrations in the dark, which is very rare that you see me do a demonstration in the dark. But the fact that it came out looking like that, even with the lights out, even at 5,000 lumens, at that, didn't even help. Yeah, that's bad. That's really bad. Let's go real quick. I'm gonna see something real quick before we get that out of here. I'm gonna pull up some straight purple. And we did the straight purple, right? Yeah. White screens don't pick up jack.
St. Jude affects all corners of the world for good.
They don't pick up jack. White screens don't pick up jack. At the end of the day, if you got a white screen, it doesn't pick up jack. I'm lying to you not. They don't pick up jack. The only thing a white screen can pick up is a white level, and that's it. That's the only thing you're going to get out of it. That's all. They don't pick up jack at all. That's why I don't understand when you see them on on Amazon and they show off like the whole family setting. The screen's out. It's bright. It doesn't look like that. It doesn't look like that at all. It's such a lie. It doesn't look like that. That's how it's supposed to look. Yeah, the white screens are garbage. Even worse is, I think the worst setup I see when people get is when they get duped into getting, and it's not their fault. Some people it's not their fault because, well, a lot of people it's not their fault because they don't know. They get the fake projector and they get the white screen, and they really think they're going to get the image that the projector's going to show. They really think the image they're going to get from the white screen. They get home, they set it up, they try to do it in a fully lit environment, which most people do. They try to set up in a fully lit environment, you know, and then it just total nightmare city, complete nightmare city. I feel sorry for them, you know what I mean? I don't think they should sell them. I don't think they should sell them. And I'll tell you something, it's Amazon's fault and it's eBay's fault. It's all their fault because they should check these merchants. They really should check them. They shouldn't be selling these fake products. And it is scamming because at the end of the day, they're showing you an image that you are never going to be able to achieve. You're just not going to be able to achieve it at all, period. There's no way in the world on God's green earth you're ever going to be achieve that image they showed you in that freaking those images on Amazon. You're not achieving that. Not even close. No. It's messed up, but it's true. Here we go. Cinema Gray. Certified screen right there. Let me see. They're certified right there. That's what that looks like next to a black screen. It's not going to pick up. This is a $16 to $1,500 projection screen sample sheet right here. It's not going to pick up on this black technology. Now, it's going to show an improvement on the white screen. Sure, it's going to show an improvement on the white screen, but not next to ours. It's not. So go out and buy yourself a cheap projector. Not cheap projector, sorry. Cheap projection motorized screen. That's not going to pick up on that. We're not going to. That's why I said if I'm doing tests on high-end screens versus our technology, then what do you think a mix is going to be to do? Dark Star 9 right there. Look at the gain on this one. It says a 0.9 gain. Now this on a white screen would look fantastic. It look absolutely fantastic on a white screen, but our screen's not white. And this is certified. Certification right there. I could do this all day. All day. It's not going to pick up on our screens. It's a $3,000 projection screen. This is $3,000 fixed frame. It's not $3,000 motorized. Motorized is going to cost you a little bit more. But if I put this against that white surface, it's going to look incredible. Like, I know we're way over our time. We always go way over our time. I try not to. I really do. I try not to go over our time, but it happens. Now see how beautiful the Dark Star 9 looks against that white screen? It looks beautiful, doesn't it? It looks beautiful. It does. But like I said, against our technology, it's not going to pass our technology at all in any way whatsoever. And then we pick up a higher contrast level on top of that. But yeah. On top of that, it has somewhat some narrow viewing cone to it right there. That's the narrow viewing cone right there. As we sit in front of the projector, turn to the side, it turns dark. That comes from the reflective material they use for it. So as I said before, you know, when they make these screens, they darken the screens. They know when they make the screens dark, that the white levels are going to drop, and they put that reflective coating on it, or material on it to actually heighten the white levels, but sometimes it doesn't. I think it doesn't work out so well. But like I said, beautiful technology, very beautiful technology. It just doesn't equal up to ours. That's all. Oh, forgot that real quick. Go. Some contrast levels there. Got some nice dark contrast levels. Dark Star 9, like I said, these screens are going to do well. They're going to do well. Oh shoot, hold on a minute. I got packages being picked up. I'll be back. I'm sitting here like, yeah, we got drivers here right now. I gotta drop packages. I'm gonna leave the camera running. I'm not done yet. I'm sitting there like, I know I just saw somebody flash in front of my windows over here, Right on. I knew I saw somebody fly, so driver's got to be here. That's her son playing around. I'm going to kick his butt. But hold on, let me bring this down, because I know you don't want to look at this. Let's let something play. Y'all can watch while I take care of the packages the customer's taking care of. Oh, that little joker. See, well, if I ain't have a big dog back there. Here we go. Hey, hey, hey! What you doing? Get it up there. You know better than that. Let's get something playing for y'all guys. It's gonna take me about a minute. I gotta get these packages taken care of. My customers taken care of. Get this going for you guys. There we go. So while y'all watch that, I'm gonna go take care of my customers, get them done so they can get their merchandise ready for me. What you think you doing? You know better than that. Okay, people, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to shut the video down. My little ones are upstairs right now. Their mother wants to go drop off the packages, so I got to watch them. Can't do this at the same time, so things change, okay? So I'll be back on later on to do the outside demonstration for the inflatable projection screen, and then we'll do the lights out in the dark with the white screen, okay? Gotta go, and God bless.